a little bit late. There it goes. It's going on and off now. The Silver Fox does not know how to use the camera. Ridiculous. Crackbacks, we're back in the building here. Another week in quarantine. Hopefully we'll be out of this pretty soon. How are we doing, fellas?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Memorial Day weekend.
Exactly.
Go.
3-day weekend. The first thing Daniel told me, my 12-year-old son told me this morning was, he goes, there's no school on Monday. He hasn't left the house in like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Like, yo, there's no school on Monday. It feels different, right? When you wake up and you know you don't have to actually do anything.
Yeah, for sure. You don't know the days of the week anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Real talk on that. Sometimes I gotta check. I ask Alexa every day what day of the week it is. So, action-packed sports week actually here in quarantine with no games happening. We got stuff to talk about. We got our final review of The Last Dance. It's good that the hater is on here with us.
Don't forget, the Bundesliga is playing.
The Bundesliga is playing, and Korean
Yeah.
Are they
baseball.
really?
Yeah.
The Bundesliga is playing, and Korean baseball is playing. Korean baseball actually got fined by the Korean government because
Well, the sex dolls, right?
Yeah.
Why the hell? Why do we get on here
in the
every week
stands.
and you're talking about Korean baseball?
Because Korean baseball is what's hot right now. That's popping.
Have you watched any Korean baseball games?
Absolutely not. I'm not watching.
The games are on like at 5:30. Hell
I'm not
no.
watching it. I wouldn't watch it if it was on at 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm not watching Korean baseball. But they got fined though because instead of having mannequins, I don't know if it was last minute or whatever, they had sex dolls.
Like in the stands?
In the
Yeah,
stands.
to replace fans, exactly. And they got like
for whatever
stupid.
reason. For whatever reason, they put masks on them.
I guess in Korea they just got sex dolls laying around.
I mean, that's what they make them. So
yeah.
I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So the where's the hater? He just went off the screen there for a second.
Oh, I'm back.
Last 2 episodes of the Last Dance were this past Sunday. Few things. This is the first episode that people are kind of not.
I told you he's not going to watch
wonderful.
it. He didn't watch 1 minute of it.
I know he won't watch it because he'll have to change his mind. But
I just admit it. First of all, change my mind. told from the perspective of Michael Jordan, when even his own teammates are coming out saying it's all bullshit and nonsense.
Well, there's a couple people that want.
You don't believe them, though.
Right
the only
now.
person you believe is the word of God, Michael Jordan.
No,
whatever he says is fucking gold.
Reggie Miller calls him Black Jesus, actually.
Yeah. So do you guys. You guys think a guy who walks on water?
No, he jumps over it.
You didn't talk about the one final game when he went 3 for fucking 18. About how he's had a bad game. You didn't even see one bad game Michael Jordan's ever had. You know why? Because he didn't want you to know that.
So as we go,
but everyone's had bad games. You
no,
can't
not
come out of
Michael
that.
Jordan.
No,
not
but
Michael
if somebody
Jordan.
but if somebody comes
Nobody's
out of that
ever said-
documentary saying Michael Jordan's never had a bad game, that's just uneducated.
But that's
Like-
what everybody thinks. Everybody thinks the dude was 20 for 20, or actually the way he shot, he was 40 for 40 every fucking game.
Dude,
that's
yeah,
Michael Jordan.
Moving forward here, you'll learn that Saich speaks in extremes. So you could say that somebody's pretty good, then all of a sudden the
You
guy's
think?
fallible.
But
there are 2 of his teammates that want all the smoke right now. Scottie Pippen's actually kind of pissed off, saying that he was shown in a crappy light all the way through, except for a little snippet in the beginning
For what?
where he showed his family. And Horace Grant said, "It's bullshit that you're calling me the scapegoat for the Jordan rules. We can handle this like men or other ways if you want to." Horace Grant wants that smoke.
yeah.
First of all, people are confused about what the Jordan rules were. The Jordan rules weren't about call a foul on him every time he goes to the hole.
No,
Jordan-
not that one gets.
The
no.
Jordan rules was the Pistons saying, don't let him get to the fucking basket. Every time he goes up, hack the shit out of him.
Yes,
That's what the Jordan rules were.
You're right, but in this case, they're talking about the book that the Chicago sports writer Sam Smith wrote, the Jordan rules. They named it the same thing, the Jordan rules, but it's the book they're talking about, and all the stuff that's in the book. Jordan in the documentary claimed that the leak was Horace was great.
You guys worship a guy that was the biggest dick to all of his friends and teammates.
I don't worship him.
Like,
let's just get that out the way right now. He's just the best basketball player I've ever seen, but I don't worship him in any way.
He's the best basketball player you've ever seen.
There's an anti-Jordan book out there, and Saich doesn't have it.
I'm buying it tomorrow.
Yo,
It's-
just wait for your birthday. I'll get it for you. Believe me.
yeah, it was written. It was written the season before they won the championship, in 1990, and it was supposed to be the first of like a series of books. So he was, do like the Jordan rules, and he would have done like the Ewing rules.
Wait, he allowed that?
You mean he allowed that?
He allowed that? Like the almighty Michael Jordan allowed a book to be
He wasn't
written without his
almighty yet.
permission?
He hadn't won a
Yeah.
championship yet. So,
Jesus
he wasn't
Christ.
almighty yet.
But-
The hate from you really is amazing.
It's not hate. It's just that you guys are blinded by
It's always
what
been
Nike,
hate.
It's
It's always
Nike,
been hate.
It's always been-
Gatorade, and Michael Jordan tells you. You believe what Michael
Yeah.
Jordan wants you to
Well,
see.
Yeah,
first,
'cause we
Adidas
didn't watch
is
the
more
games.
comfortable than
And I
Nike,
didn't
number
either.
one.
Yeah, but regardless, like back to the documentary.
Yeah.
Because we're talking specifically about
Documentary.
what
It's
we
not
saw.
a documentary.
Autobiography.
It's a story.
Autobiography.
It's a story.
It's an
It's a
autobiography.
story
I'll
that
take that.
Michael Jordan wanted to tell you.
Exactly. It's autobiography,
Yeah.
said by him. So, but either way, takeaways from the entire thing. Now, one of the takeaways that I got that I think that this is an interpretation for me that I think the people who he disrespects the most in that is actually who he has the most respect for. Like when he said in the end that out of all the teams, the Pacers were his toughest test. I think he said that because he hates Isaiah. So I don't
Yeah.
think so when he says, "Oh, the Knicks were an easy contest," I think that actually means that he had some tough games against them, but he's never going to show them the respect because the battles were so tough. That's why he doesn't respect Isaiah.
Yo, the guy went on his NBA Hall of Fame speech and talked shit about the dude that
Yeah.
made
'Cause
the high
he's-
school team over him when he got cut.
He's
Yeah.
a petty ass
He's
bitch.
very petty.
He really
He's
is.
very petty.
He really-
He's
not a
very much
happy
an
person
asshole.
Either.
He's very much an asshole.
He's not. He
As rich
if
as
he
he
did
is, as much as he's won, as much as he's revered, the whole world loves him. He's not happy whatsoever. Like other
He
than
laughed a
money,
lot when he was watching Gary Payton talk shit about him.
He
Again, he
laughs.
respects Peyton. Him laughing at him, I think, is a sign of respect. Like,
He's a
okay, yeah,
fellow
this guy
Hall of
was
Famer,
good.
but he also talked shit about Peyton immediately too. Talking about I had no problem with Gary Payton. I had no problem with him.
I gotta tell you, and I told you guys already.
He was about
What
to
the
say
fuck?
something and then he left. Oh, there it is.
My phone's gonna die here real quick. My favorite part of the whole entire documentary is that Jordan decided to release the footage and make the documentary right after LeBron won in Cleveland. That's the most petty, spiteful move I've ever seen from anybody in my life.
That's
And I love it.
50 Cent level pettiness. That's the
Hell
Ja
yeah.
Rule concert all over again.
He was
Yes.
sitting at his house and he was sitting at his house and he was seeing people on ESPN saying LeBron's better than Jordan, and he was like, "I'm gonna show these motherfuckers."
Yeah. So
And-
speaking of LeBron, so 2011, this is the same season that they lost. The Heat lost to J.J. Barea and the Dallas Mavericks. Shouts to Dirk Nowitzki. LeBron James was in talks to play for the Dallas Cowboys. They said there were actual contract talks. Now, there's no word if he was going to try to do both, which is kind of crazy because the seasons overlap, or if he was leaving basketball to go play football. But he most certainly had a conversation with the Dallas Cowboys about playing football. Probably would have been a receiver. He's the worst, dude. I can't stand this guy. We were talking about Jordan being petty. LeBron is the softest, marshmallow. He's whatever.
So he was gonna leave.
In prison.
He was gonna leave because they lost.
That was
No,
a Jerry
no.
Jones.
It was a
That's
strike.
Jerry
It's a
Jones
strike shortened
publicity.
season. No. But no, he does have the contract. It was a strike shortened season that at the time he thought the season wasn't going to happen. So he was putting himself in football shape because he did think about playing. So, in my opinion, the misconception is all these skill positions that you're putting LeBron in. That's impossible. Number one, he's 6'8", 6'9", coming across the middle of the field. You know how many guys are going to go after his knees? That's not happening, and he's not going to put himself through that for playing football for 1 year. The one spot where I do see him and actually being able to have some success is putting him as a situational pass rusher, like putting him out wide and on third down, just having him rush the passer,
He doesn't want
minimal
any-
risk.
Nah.
He's the
He
one
doesn't
hitting.
want any of that contact
As a tight end.
to get
As a tight end, you're going to have contact. You're going to have to block.
Yeah, but
Wide
why do you think he's so soft?
No, I'm not talking about soft physically. I'm talking about soft being like
Mentally,
Yeah,
mentally.
No,
he's
that's
a
just
step,
today's athlete. They're all
he's
the
a
fucking
step
same.
away from Marbury eating
So
Vaseline.
let me ask you this: you don't like LeBron because of that, but you're okay with Durant?
No, I think Durant's kind of a pussy as well.
Durant is like 90 times
Durant-
more of a pussy than LeBron is.
Durant's a child. That second Twitter handle that you're arguing with people, that's ridiculous.
It is.
You're a millionaire MVP champion NBA player.
To argue
Yeah.
with little
Arguing with
12-year-old kids.
But at
on
least
a- on a
Durant wants the
burner
last
account.
shot in the game, though. At least Durant wants. to
LeBron
take
doesn't.
the last shot in
LeBron
the
just
game.
LeBron
he
just
passes the ball.
uses his teammates. He's hit big
LeBron's-
shots.
LeBron's
Don't
problem,
get it twisted. You guys act
LeBron's
like Jordan's hit
problem-
every shot he's ever taken.
No, but here's
and he
the
hasn't.
thing.
But he has the balls to take the shot.
Kukoc is
reason-
taking those shots. Steve Kerr is taking those shots. Pippen is taking those shots.
The reason LeBron defers is that he's not a good free throw shooter.
That's
All those other guys you called out, if they go to the bucket, they get fouled.
And
they
that's
know they're
not
knocked down, too.
debatable.
He's also
a 70%
scared.
That's the
free throw
biggest
shooter.
reason.
He's also
He's-
scared to take the shot.
He's scared he's going to get
he's
fouled.
not scared to take his shots. He's hit
But-
big shots.
And what Joel said, him being a bad free throw shooter, that's not an opinion. He's a 70% free throw shooter. I don't know how you can put a top 5 player of all time at 70% from the free throw line, which is supposed to be called a charity stripe. I mean, I'm not saying he's out of the top 5. I'm just saying he's not number 2. That's where I'm going. I'm not gonna go as far to say out of top 5, but he's not top 2.
Now, Saich, there's two things here. One you won't like. The second one you'll be on my side with. But the first one, LeBron's essentially conceded the GOAT talk.
Of course, he has to, because if he says anything else, you guys will roast him. Everybody in the
roasted him
world
anyway.
would say, listen, Jordan could fucking slap a fucking 4-year-old kid, and you guys would be like, oh, he's still the greatest. He's so
Trump,
awesome.
not Jordan.
That is definitely
Hey,
true.
but Saich,
That is
if-
100% true.
If
It
you watch,
depends who the kid
watch,
was.
but listen, if you watch the documentary,
Exactly.
one of the
There's some
themes-
people
Stop saying it's a documentary. It's not a documentary.
all right, if you watch the autobiography, one of the themes
if you watch
that he
Jordan's
said,
story, say
Yes.
Jordan's story.
if you watch Jordan's story,
Yeah,
one of the
exactly.
themes of the story was
Look
of
how
all
red
this-
Saich is turning.
is all the sacrifices. One of the themes of the story was all the sacrifices he made to be great. LeBron isn't willing to make sacrifices like
What?
having people not like him. If LeBron really was going to ever be the best player, he would say,
man.
"Oh, I get Jordan did his thing, but I'm on a mission for me to be the best player. I'm not trying to be Jordan's best teammate. Jordan should be
How about
my best teammate."
how about the
People will hate him
sacrifices-
for it.
How about the sacrifices that people around Jordan had to make just to deal with his ass?
But he's good and he won titles, so you want
And
So
him.
they
is
won.
LeBron.
And they won
LeBron's
6
not
rings
good?
for it.
Listen,
They
not
won
as
6
good.
rings for it.
sometimes
as
you
good.
have to
He
be an
would-
asshole in sports, all right? So you got Michael Jordan, you got
Yeah.
Buddy Ryan, you got all of the managers from 1971 to 1990 for the Yankees. All of them
Thank
are
you.
assholes.
Thank you.
They're all assholes. So people are
Not
assholes.
that,
in
not to
sports.
that level. Not to that level.
People are complete assholes in sports. The other thing is too is that LeBron holds on to shit too long. Jordan shaved his
That's
head
just today's
immediately.
athlete.
The second that hairline was gone,
His
Jordan took
hairline.
Jordan took that off and it was gone. This dude's been putting plugs on, pubes on his hair, that shit that sweats out in the second quarter for years, dude. It's ridiculous. You
There's
can't
even-
respect somebody about that.
And there's even been
that's
reports
sad.
in New England. Even in New England, you've heard reports before about some teammates saying Tom Brady's an asshole. Like, no one's ever come out and said Tom Brady's the greatest guy in the locker room.
Tom
But
Brady
he's
is
a winner.
definitely an asshole. There's no way.
Definitely.
There's no way. in hell
Absolutely.
Tom Brady's
Definitely.
not an asshole.
And that's
Make
the thing.
sacrifices to be great.
You're talking about LeBron's hairline. Like, that's how much you hate him. You talk about his hairline, but Michael Jordan could fucking do whatever he wants, and you guys are like, oh, he's the greatest. He walks on water. He's Jesus Christ incarnate.
Because when he lost his hair, he actually went bald rather than taking out of his ass hair.
What does
to
that
put him on his
matter?
fucking
What does that
hairline.
care? What does that even matter?
Yeah, it's just trolling. It's just trolling. I
It
will.
is.
No,
It is.
But I admit that I'm a LeBron troll. I have no problem saying that. I am 100% a LeBron troll.
Who gives
Just
a
like
fuck
the
about
documentary,
LeBron's
we both
hair?
petty. Actually, he does.
He does, apparently,
because
because
He
Of course
cares
he
about
does.
it a lot.
It's his hair. Of course he does.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about it as much as Boozer did, but
Yeah,
it's close.
Jordan cared more about winning than keeping his hair.
Sage, I'm going to
There's
bring
the
you back.
difference right
I'm going
there.
to bring you back to my side over here. All right. One of the things in the last episode that you didn't watch because you're afraid to change your opinion is
I
no,
can watch that
so
bullshit, and it's not going to change my opinion.
Game 6 is his last championship. The shot over Brian Russell. You're going to say he pushed off. Fine, whatever. In that series, they had the flu game. he says that it wasn't the flu. The story that Jordan tells is that
It was a lie.
the other guys went out to dinner. You don't even know. He doesn't even know the story yet. He goes, "It's a lie." The other guys went out to dinner and didn't bring him food. So he has them order a pizza, and he was adamant, "I'm the only one that ate the pizza. Nobody else ate the pizza." Wakes up at 2 a.m. and he's throwing up sick. Now, do you think somebody poisoned him, or did he get hammered that night, or
Oh,
he
yeah.
with they did ketamine?
Definitely was out
drinking
partying all
GHB,
night.
Something happened. and
Where the
woke
hell
up
is he
that morning.
partying in Salt Lake City? Come on.
He's
I'm
a
pretty sure there's
millionaire.
places
There's-
you're
if
fucking
you're a
Michael
We've
Jordan
been
in
there.
Utah.
We've
Yeah.
been there. The whole city shuts down at like
You
1
haven't
o'clock.
been there as a millionaire. Millionaires have parties that we don't
Come
know
on, man.
exist.
Salt Lake City.
and that makes more sense. Kobe's said it before that he's had some of his best games hungover as shit. So if Jordan was hungover and had a good game, that's actually makes more sense now than actually having like food poisoning or the flu.
That's one of
Yeah,
the
Because
things
Kobe's played so many games hungover.
We've all done it.
Sounds like
We've
bullshit
all
to
played
me.
sports hungover. It doesn't
Yeah.
really change anything. He
I
just
had
uses
some
it
of
as
my
an
best
excuse.
practices lit.
David Wells throwing no hitters on acid.
Yeah, dude.
I've had some of my best practices drunk as hell. People around me being like, "Yo,
So-
you
so
smell like
what-
vodka."
Well, then, Saich, what do you think about getting carried up, getting picked up and carried away by your teammates for having a cramp? What is that? What do you think about that? What does that say to you about the player?
The arena was mad
I've
hot,
cramped
though.
up before. I mean, that's just no joke. You guys act like cramp. Like
I've cramped up too,
cramped
but
up.
I haven't had to be stretched out the floor and like I lost my
Cramping
limbs.
up is
Listen,
one thing. Paul Pierce shitting himself and having to get taken out on a wheelchair is worse. That's the worst. You don't get any worse than that. He shit himself and got taken out on a wheelchair. And it's absolute worse on that.
Listen, I played a basketball tournament where I cramped up with my calves, and it was the worst fucking feeling in the world.
Yeah, you're
You
limping.
can't come back from that. You
That's
can't.
because you
Like
run on
you.
your tiptoes. You don't run like
No.
a human
That's because I drank a shit ton the night before and then played in the tournament.
And even going back to that, I remember one of the excuses was, "Oh yeah,
Chris
the
runs like a
AC in San
velociraptor.
Antonio wasn't working, so he was having heat cramps." Like these kids at 16 years old playing at indoor gyms with no AC. That was the biggest BS excuse I heard, that it was hot in the arena because the AC was broken. That's
It's the hair
ridiculous.
plugs, man. It's the
Yeah.
hair plugs. It's the hair plugs. So
Yeah, he can't vent heat out of his head anymore.
It makes
It
sense.
holds it on. It's like a knit hat, son. It holds it all
Yeah.
in. So, all right,
That
so
does make sense, actually.
they broke up the team after the last championship there, where the shot over Brian Russell. Pippen went to Houston. Steve Kerr went down to
San Antonio.
Rodman went to the Lakers. Jordan retired for a couple of years before coming back and playing for the Wizards. Now, if they kept everybody together and try to go for the four-peat, what happens?
They win.
They win. I think it's a strike-shortened season, which benefits an older team. They would have only played 50 games. They beat the Pacers the last year, and people said, "Oh, the Pacers could have beat them again," but the Pacers lost to the A-seeded Knicks that year. The Bulls were going to beat the A-seeded Knicks, and I think the finals was a mismatch, and Tim Duncan was still very young, so that was definitely the 99 Spurs team was definitely beatable, and they wouldn't have Steve Kerr because the basis of his argument is that Steve Kerr stayed on the Bulls.
Okay, so a couple of things with that. Number one, you said 8-seeded Knicks twice. We were only the 8 seed that year because Patrick hurt his Achilles and only played it was 18 or 20 games of the 55 that we played. So that it was a 8 seed, but a false 8 seed. Hold on one second, Saich. The other thing is Rodman played a total of 35 games after that season. He hardly played in LA. Then he got cut by Dallas after that. He was absolutely done. He was off. He was at that point. He was kind of strung out. He's getting high all the time with Carmen Electra. Pippen, there was no way in hell he was staying. I know there's a scenario that said he was going to stay, but Pippen wanted to get paid, so he was getting out of Dodge. But if he did stay, he had his lowest point total and shooting percentage and rebound since his rookie year that year, and it declined every year after that. They really did squeeze everything out of those people. They played all the way through the finals, 6 out of 8 years in a row, and the other two in the middle, they got far into the playoffs as well. They were completely
And the Olympic year, too.
And the Olympic year. There was no tread left on that tire. Now, do they get out of the East? Maybe. The Knicks team got hot at one point. Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston dragged them to the finals. Took a Miami Heat team that really wasn't as good as their record was. Maybe Chicago gets out of the East, but they lose to that Spurs team Easily.
Yeah,
Luke
I
Longley
agree.
has nothing with can do nothing with David Robinson. A broken down Dennis Rodman is going to get overwhelmed by, at that point, a very athletic Tim Duncan, not just a fundamentally sound one.
Big fundamentals? Nah.
And you have a young Tony Parker who's going to be, cutting up whoever they have playing at point guard at that point.
He wasn't
I know
there.
Ron Harper
Tony Parker
retired.
wasn't there.
They didn't even have
was
Ginobili or
not
Martin.
there.
You're right. It was,
Yeah, it's a
Avery
99
Johnson.
team.
Avery Johnson was the first one.
Yeah.
So he kind of got it. So Jordan would have had to carry too much of a load at that
No.
point. There's no way. And in fact,
No.
they losing doesn't even get to a seventh game. They're losing 5 or 6 to the Spurs.
I think a more interesting question is what would have happened if Jordan followed Phil to the Lakers and Jordan, Kobe, and Shaq were together on the Lakers? How many did they win?
Wouldn't work.
I don't think it would work either.
Why?
No.
Too many mouths to feed, man.
No.
I mean, Kobe worshipped Jordan. So it's not like Kobe's going to be like, oh, I need more shots than this old dude. He worshipped Jordan.
It would work, and it would work for 2 reasons.
And Shaq was unbelievable.
Well, 3. That's one. Shaq was all world at that point.
Shaq would be the number 1 dog in that situation.
Yeah. But secondly, Kobe's 18 years old, so he'll
You
still
stop
be in that, ready to subjugate himself type role. And Phil's there. That's the biggest reason. Phil's there.
Hell yeah.
So Mike listens to Phil. Mike knows his body's breaking down at this point.
He ain't listening to Phil about that. Get out of here. You think?
No, but here's the thing. He will listen to Phil. And,
no way.
Game recognized game. He would listen to Shaq. Shaq's a superstar. Not complete. He won't see him completely as an equal, but he's at least another superstar who can carry him. They win 5, 6 in a row again if he subjugates himself a little bit.
Michael would never have that. Never have that. Michael Jordan needs to be the best player on the team.
He wanted to win.
No. At his expense, nobody else's. He would not take a championship because somebody else won it for him.
That's wrong.
That's how petty he is.
No, he's
what? Are you kidding me? You don't think that this guy?
He's petty to find the motivation, but if he was petty to the point of only winning by his own accord, he wouldn't have passed the ball to Jackson. He wouldn't have passed the ball to Kerr, and he wouldn't.
Phil Jackson had to tell him to pass the ball.
Exactly, and
Phil
trusted his teammates.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're saying he listens to Phil?
No, he did after 5 years. It took 5 years for him to listen to Phil.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
He took over for Doug Collins in 91. They won, or 90. They won the next year.
They won the championship in the second year.
Yeah, the second year. He took over in 1990. They won 91.
And they put the triangle in right away.
So he listened to him pretty quick.
You're a hater, and you're wrong.
No, not true. You really think that Michael Jordan would be okay to be a third wheel on a team?
No, he wouldn't be the third wheel. He'll be the second option.
I mean,
at that point, he's the second option.
If you're a second wheel to Shaq and you got Kobe, and he would be able to see what Kobe's doing in practice and understand how good Kobe is.
No, Michael Jordan doesn't understand that.
But it doesn't affect it anyway, though, because they already three-peated, and by that 4th championship where they lost to Detroit, Jordan was already going to retire. So they already maxed out their potential with both of them anyways because they didn't stay together.
If he goes directly to LA, because Kobe was already there when he was still in Chicago. So if he goes directly
Kobe was like 18, right?
Yeah.
Kobe.
You're saying he goes with Phil. Phil didn't go until 2000.
Kobe came into the league because he wanted to be able to play against Jordan. So now if Jordan goes to the Lakers and they're all playing together, I think they rip off like 4 or 5 straight.
And
no way.
Phil going to the Lakers was gonna happen. He was dating Jeannie Buss already at that point. There was an opening over there. That team was primed for the triangle. He goes there. They literally
and they had remember they had that dork ass coach when they first got Shaq.
What
was his name? Del Harris.
Del Harris.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that Phil would have been right in there. Phil would have been like, "Let me get this. Jordan's coming with me."
5 in a row, easy. But if they keep that team together as the Bulls, they lose to San Antonio hands down.
Because this dude was on the Wizards, worst team in the league, still dropping 20, 22 a night.
That doesn't mean anything. Kevin Love used to drop 25 on Minnesota. Doesn't mean he's the greatest fucking
But I'm
scorer.
just saying that it's not like he was done. It's not like Jordan was done.
Because they gave Jordan – he was the main guy that they were like, hey, you're the one that's going to score all the fucking points. That's how the NBA works.
Of course, he's the best one.
On the Wizards, really?
He was.
but he scored 50. He scored ahead of 50 points.
Who else was on the Wizards?
And he was old at that.
Who
point.
else was on the Wizards?
Bro,
Was Arenas even there yet?
Kwame Brown was there. No, Arenas was still Golden State. Kwame Brown was there.
Didn't Jordan fully retire in 2003?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the last year of the Lakers three-peat. No, they won.
He retired a
2000.
bunch of times.
No, that was
Yeah.
right.
He's
That
like
was the last year because the Pistons won in 04, so it was 03.
But
02.
So the Pistons won in 04. Jordan's in that team, even in a real diminished role, in a Karl Malone on the Lakers type role. Well, first off, Karl Malone never gets to the Lakers if Jordan goes there.
Yeah.
They win that series easily as well. If he's your third option, because if he has to come in, they just have to get him to play the Vinnie Johnson role. You come in, score, sit
The
back down,
microwave.
you're old. Exactly. Karl Malone's another one now. Now, Karl Malone's talking about he's not happy with the documentary either. Somebody that is showing him.
I mean, he lost.
What
it's not like they made shit up. They had real game film from the real games, and the fucking Jazz lost.
He says that they're showing that he goes, I'm a bad son bitch too. I was one of the greatest of all time too. You're showing me like I was a chump.
Yeah.
It's only him and Brian Russell that turned down.
He does talk like that.
Yo,
You think I'm a chump?
The beard is scary. He doesn't look. He looks like a Walking Dead character, man. He doesn't.
We gotta get his picture up for when you do this.
I'll throw one up in post.
We need a commercial break. I need to grab a beer.
Word. All right, so we'll be back in a little bit. Crackbacks. Back in 2 minutes.
Hello there.
We'll start rolling right away and see how long it takes Chris to get his camera on.
Shut up.
The countdown's going already. It's hilarious. All right, everybody's in right now. There you go. All right, folks, we're back. Crackbacks. A few bills to pay there. So we were talking a lot about the past here. Gets you sideways for whatever reason.
Where's TJ at?
What's up?
I don't know. He said he sent the email. He hasn't showed up. So
We're supposed to have a guest today, but he is some circumstances getting in the way, so we'll try to get TJ Cates on. If you can now, if not, you got to turn sideways, man. You're going to give people with epilepsy issues over there.
Bro, my shit is plugged in. I got to keep it plugged in. My phone's about to die.
Just be sideways, whatever.
Yeah, all right. So you're sideways. You
I was upside down for a little bit. Exactly. So now you're the joke. The
Wizard of Oz over here.
Yeah.
The gleaming emerald background.
Anyway, all right. So we're talking about stuff in the past here. One of these, I think it was BuzzFeed or one of those things had coming up the other day. They asked if you had a sports moment that you could change. This is not your own sports team. You can't go, I want the Knicks to win the championship in '94. If you could change one thing in history, a sports moment that doesn't involve your team, what would you do?
Mine would be Game 6, 2013 NBA Finals, that Tim Duncan would actually be on the floor to end the game. That's what I would make different.
That's the Heat and the Spurs. Game 6.
Yes.
The Ray Allen miracle shot.
It doesn't happen if it's not Boris Diaw trying to box out Chris Bosh, but actually probably inarguably the top five power forward of all time.
He's most definitely a top 5 power forward.
Yeah, inarguably a top 5 power forward.
It's funny. Mine kind of involves Miami as well. I actually wanted the Patriots to go undefeated when David Tyree caught the ball against his helmet. Not because I wanted Belichick or Tom Brady or anyone to be undefeated. I just wanted Mercury Morris and the rest of the Dolphins to not be able to say, we're the only undefeated team in NFL history. And have their
I agree with you right there. That Giants thing, that shit hurt.
Every November. I mean, the Giants, it sucked, and that was the luckiest catch of all time.
In my neighborhood, call me when they're on my block.
I hate Mercury Morris so much. That topic, I mean, come on, man. Did you serve time for selling coke after you played professional football?
He sounds like a coke dealer of that name.
Yeah, listen, they didn't make money back then. They had to do something.
They didn't make money in the 80s? Did you not watch Star?
No, that's how they made money.
Yeah, because they didn't make it in the NFL at that time.
They didn't make it in the NFL.
Yeah, that's the one I would want. I would want and if the Patriots win that game, Randy Moss also gets a Super Bowl ring. That would be a kind of
that's a good one.
a twofer in that one. So yeah,
I definitely agree with you 100% on that one.
All right,
Yeah,
so call me sentimental here, but if I can't do anything with my own team,
We said know your own teams.
it's too easy.
I'm gonna take my man's team right here, and Julian Edelman never makes that miracle catch, and the Falcons win.
My greatest moment.
The ultimate hater. Saich is the ultimate hater.
It was
the
that
ball
might have
went-
been
Love and change the moment for you, and this
No.
guy's laughing, hating on you.
might have been the
ball went
greatest
right through
Super Bowl
Robert
I've ever
Alford's
seen.
hands. Right, Robert Alford, a second pick six in that game. If he doesn't let that ball go through his hands, I shouldn't give you an opportunity, Saich, but go ahead.
No. I actually, what you said about the whole Giants thing, because I fucking hate the Giants, and the fact that they ended up beating the Patriots in that Super Bowl. That Tyree catch was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
And a bad throw with that. He threw a punt. The ball got squeezed.
It was basically he just chucked it up straight up in the air, and a guy caught it on his helmet.
I kind of wish TJ
And-
was here right now. TJ's a Dolphin fan. He would have to
Is he?
defend his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have to defend.
I want to
his team.
talk about why he thinks 2 is going to be good.
They pop
I don't think it's going to be any
champagne
good.
every year after the last undefeated team loses a game. And I would love for that shit to end. That shit is. It's
Well,
so-
Shula died, so that tradition is over.
Yeah, are they going to stop it because Shula died?
No, they're not going to stop.
Or are they going to pop
Yeah.
champagne around? On
Of course they are.
the 9th green at this golf course.
Nah,
Well,
man.
It also would have been cool. I think it was the 08 season when, I think it was a crazy special teams blunder that made the Ravens win, so they went 1-15. Because I would have loved to see the 08 defeated team on the rafters up top, because they have the 72 undefeated team and then the 08 defeated team with Cleo Lemon as quarterback.
Yeah, I remember that game clearly. They had a chance to win in regulation, and that kind of got what was the coach's name? He was the OC on Minnesota.
Cam Cameronis.
No, not the. He was the OC for Baltimore and the coach for the Dolphins. What was the coach for the Billick? Brian Billick.
Billick, yeah.
Billick didn't go for it on 4th down, and then Greg Camarillo.
Yes, Caprio.
Yeah, he busted off like an 80-yarder, right? Yeah.
A long one in overtime to keep him from going straight defeated. That would have been cool because they would have been the only undefeated and the only defeated team at the same time. The Dolphins, the worst uniforms in the league as well.
But I think now there has been. I think the Lions went 0-16 one year.
Yeah, but the Lions suck.
That was the one where Dan Orlovsky stepped out of the back of the end zone and gave them a safety to lose the game.
And the prize that they get for going 0-16, the shittiest first overall quarterback that didn't drink lean all the time, Matt Stafford.
No way.
There's been
Come
shittier
on.
There's been shittier first overall picks.
You guys, Matt
If they
Stafford's
drink
good,
lean.
man.
I'm
DeMarcus
with
was
you.
high on
I'm
that.
not like them. I think he's pretty good. He's not.
I think Matt
he's not
Stafford's
great,
pretty
but-
good too.
Stafford's garbage. Since we slid over to football here, and no one can argue,
Not a great quarterback.
Stafford's not good. Stafford's average at best.
I had Calvin
inflated
Johnson
numbers.
for over 9 years, and I had to watch this motherfucker every week. Miss him, wide open in the end zone. He wouldn't even throw to him. Stafford sucks.
Inflated numbers.
Oh, look at Morty.
Inflated numbers because of like you said, Calvin Johnson, and they throw the ball
You have
75 times a
Best
game.
wide receivers of all time, and you can't even make one playoff run.
Not one.
Just get in there, win a couple games.
That's because their
Closest they
defense
got.
sucks.
Closest they got was they lost in
He had-
overtime.
He had
game
one of
to-
the best wide receivers of all time.
His stats are better without Calvin Johnson.
Oh yeah, he's much better without Calvin Johnson.
He's 8-8 either way.
He spreads the ball around more.
He has thrown for more. Is he better without him? He's not saying that. I'm just saying statistically, he's thrown for more yards and stuff without Calvin because he is spreading the ball around more. Because that was actually one of the criticisms on Stafford when he was there. That sometimes that he would force the ball too often.
Yep.
I
He
remember
did,
He sucks.
but he couldn't get it to him. Couldn't get it to him when he was open.
He's Joe Flacco, that runs a little bit faster. That's it.
He's
Not
way
that
better than Joe Flacco.
They suck. No, dude, he sucks. At least Flacco got a Super Bowl. Stafford will never sniff one unless they.
Just because you won a Super Bowl doesn't make you a great
And-
quarterback.
My eyes watching Stafford. I'm gonna take your words. Stafford's not special. He was the first overall pick, and he's not special.
Better than Matt Ryan.
No, he's not.
Whoa, here we go. Here we go.
Go ahead and I'll stay quiet for a moment, and you explain to me how he's better than Matt Ryan.
If Stafford had a 20-point lead in the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't blow it.
Stafford can't get past the first round of the playoffs, so he couldn't get to the Super Bowl to have a lead in it. You also just blamed his defense for the fact that they're not winning the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan had a 28 to 3-point lead. That's the defense's fault, not Matt Ryan. You put up 28 points in the Super Bowl, you're supposed to win. I'll give you a second. I'll sit back and be quiet again. You tell me how Matt Stafford's better than Matt Ryan.
He is. He just has better tools. He got a better arm. He's got. You watch him. He's better than Matt Ryan.
He has a stronger arm. That's it. End of sentence right there. Matt Ryan's won more games than him. Matt Ryan's actually won playoff games.
So is winning more games because you have a better team make you a better quarterback? He's on a shit fucking team. Detroit sucks. Detroit is awful and has been awful for years. Doesn't make him a bad quarterback.
So you get a quarterback first overall, right? And then you continue to be awful after that. The Falcons were awful because we had, Roddy White was our best player on offense. You have Joey Harrington starting the season as your number one quarterback. Byron Leftwich is your backup.
Your defense was always better than Detroit's defense.
Absolutely not.
Yes. You've always had better pass rushers.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In fact, the fact that you just said Atlanta's always had pass rushers is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Other than
as opposed to Detroit,
we had John Abraham and
who's better than Detroit's had. Except for Ndamukong Suh, who had 8 sacks at most.
Ziggy Ansah has had multiple years of
Ziggy Ansah, son.
Yeah, Ziggy Ansah's nice.
Clemens was on there for a while, had double-digit sacks. They've had guys that can get to the quarterback. The fan, you're still on your hater thing. That's all it is right there. You said they were terrible. The Falcons were absolutely horrible. We won 3 games. One of those Chris Redmond won. The next year we went to the playoffs. Yeah, we lost to Arizona, but we went to the playoffs. And what was the difference on that team? Matt Ryan. That's the only name. Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
That's it. Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah. Matt Stafford.
So he's good.
Matt Stafford came on and hasn't won not a single playoff game. He's thrown for 5,000 yards and 30 interceptions.
No, he hasn't. He ain't Jameis.
Close to it. No, he did throw 30 and 30, but I'm sure he threw upper 20s for sure. Matt
No.
Stafford's not a good
quarterback.
No way. Matt Stafford didn't win either at Georgia, and his team was stacked at Georgia.
Reek, look it up. Let's get some interception totals on Stafford.
Not that high. No way.
No,
he's never thrown more than 20 interceptions.
To quote you, he's a gunslinger.
Nah, he's not Fitzpatrick, but he's sort of a gunslinger.
He's better at beer pong than he is at football.
And I'll tell you what. Let's talk about Fitzpatrick. I love Fitzpatrick.
Oh, my God.
He hasn't been that high, but he's in the teens every year. 19, he's had 20 twice.
So his highest, the most amount of picks he had was actually his rookie year. He had 20 picks. He didn't play the full season last year, but he only had 5 picks last year. But the last season he played 16 games, which was 2018. I mean, that's not bad. 66% completion.
It's not. Yeah.
3,770
you guys act like
21 touchdowns, 11 picks. That's not bad at all.
He sucks. You guys
he does not suck.
He doesn't suck.
And we just acknowledge how bad Detroit is, but we just acknowledge how bad Detroit is. Like, I'm not trying to say that he's better than Matt Ryan or anything. I'm just saying not bad.
What year did he host the NFC Championship game?
Well, no, I'm not comparing. I'm saying that he's not as bad as you guys are saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he's not.
What year did Matt Stafford win
better
MVP?
Than Matt Ryan.
What year did Matt Stafford win MVP? Can you look that up?
Yeah, no, he hasn't won MVP, but I didn't.
Okay,
but
so
I did.
All these things point to Matt Ryan being better than Matt Stafford. That's all.
But I didn't say Matt Ryan was better. He did. I'm just saying that.
I'm just putting.
I'm saying because Matt Ryan has had a better offense every fucking year that he's played compared to Matt Stafford. He's had a running game.
You can actually say that they've had pretty similar offenses.
No, they haven't.
No,
they
because
haven't.
he had Megatron for 8 years.
Okay, and you have Julio Jones, and your running backs have always been better.
I didn't say one was better than the other.
Who is the best running back that Detroit has had? Yeah, you can't. You can't.
One thing. Hold on.
No
one thing.
Whatsoever.
Let me add one thing. Let me add one thing here real quick. Last year, this is actually really impressive. He only played half the season, 8 games, 64% completions, 2,500 yards, 19 touchdowns, 5 picks. So he's on pace for a 40-10 season.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
That's actually really freaking good.
No, but you see what happened there? He was having a good season, so he got hurt. So
Because that's the Lions. The Lions
got
are
out of it.
cursed. The Lions as an
That running
organization are
back
cursed.
from Nebraska. His name was like Muhammad or something like that.
Abdullah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abdullah's the one who's
Yeah,
talking
he's
about. They've never had a
okay.
good running game.
But you guys have always had good running games.
He's
Which
better
takes the
than
pressure off of
Mayfield's
Matt
kid.
Ryan.
He had an old Michael Turner, and took when we went to the NFC Championship game, and I won't say what happened in it because Getz is already rolling his eyes. We went to the NFC Championship game against San Francisco. Michael Turner was a shell of himself. He had 800 yards that year. So the fact that you're saying he's always had a good running game, and that was a Julio Jones in his second year in the NFL, not an established Megatron that Stafford had for years. Listen, you can like Matt Stafford, and yeah, I'm being a little bit over the top by saying he's complete garbage. The fact that you're trying to say that Matt Stafford is better than Matt Ryan is an absolute horseshit statement.
He's just as good.
I love the term horse shit.
Absolute.
That's horse shit.
Horseshit. MVP. Yeah, he lost.
What you're saying?
But he got there.
So what you're saying is that if Matt Ryan,
he's got better numbers than him.
so if Matt Ryan was on Detroit, he would have turned that franchise around. Is that what you're saying?
He would have at least
No
one
way.
playoff win. I'll tell you
No
that.
way. No way.
He turned around the Falcons.
No way.
He turned around the Falcons.
You guys
100% turn around the Falcons.
misinterpret how important the rest of your team is. Matt Stafford has not had a running game since he's been in the league.
He had fucking Megatron, dude.
Exactly.
I said running game.
But I mean, he had one of the best wide receivers.
So Matt Ryan has Julio Jones,
So
one of
here's
the best
thing.
wide receivers in the league right now.
Yeah,
So why wouldn't Matt Stafford be better if he has Calvin Johnson?
He had no running game.
He had Amir Abdullah.
Yeah,
I just told
Amir
you.
Abdullah.
But I just told you. just
Amir
now.
Abdullah. Is he?
Amir Abdullah.
But we literally
That's the
just
best.
covered that.
That's
we
the best you
literally
can
just
come up
covered
with.
that. 2000, the Falcons go 13-3 and lose the NFC Championship game. Michael Turner had 800 yards rushing. That's not an All-Pro. Those aren't All-Pro numbers.
Okay, that's
end of
1
his
year.
career.
Every year after that,
No.
he's had great running backs.
Absolutely not. We got
What?
Freeman a couple. We got Freeman a couple. Years after
Devontae
that.
Freeman is good.
Devontae Freeman had 2 good years. The year we went to
he
the
used
Super
to be
Bowl
good.
and the year before that. That's
So
it.
and I
Devontae
guarantee you,
Freeman's
go ahead
garbage
and look up Detroit's running backs. I guarantee you, every
You
single
keep
person that
blowing
you just
up,
said,
dude. You keep
You're
blowing
had
it up. He can't
two-
win
yeah.
a playoff game. Matt Ryan won a
listen,
playoff
no.
game with no running back. You keep
Yeah,
saying
what
Matt
are they?
Stafford had no running back. Michael Turner was a shell of himself in 2012, and Matt Ryan
and still probably
with
had
a-
more
with a
yards than
second
any
year-
Detroit running back
with
has
a
had in
second-
20 years
800.
since Barry
so,
Sanders.
so no, because he had 800 yards rushing, and a second-year Julio Jones and an old Roddy White. Matt Ryan took us to the NFC Championship game. Horseshit.
When was the
Saying
last
it
time
again.
Detroit had
Horseshit.
1,000? When was the last time Detroit had
I
a
don't give a fuck
1,000 yard
if it
running
was
back?
in the 50s with Alex.
They
Telles
haven't
playing on the
exactly
team.
since
Matt
probably
Stafford
Barry
is nowhere
Sanders.
close to the quarterback that Matt Ryan is.
Since Barry
It's
Sanders.
ridiculous. Who we don't like either, Barry Sanders. You
It's
hate
not.
him too.
It's not ridiculous. I don't hate him.
Second best. He's the second best running back of all time in your eyes, right?
He is. Can't block. Can't catch.
Yeah.
Third best.
Could only
second best
run
running back.
TDs and like 30 touchdowns.
Yeah.
One of the greatest college football players of all time and the best running back in the history of the NFL.
So what does that mean? One of the best college. You could say this. Where's Jordan when it comes to the best college basketball players? Because he's not.
Well, Jordan's
But he's your greatest.
Jordan
So don't
was
use that. So don't use that argument.
No, Jordan was the Naismith Player of the Year in college. He's an NCAA champion, and would
And he
have had.
shot in the title game as a true freshman.
And in the early 80s, wing players weren't regarded at the same level that they are now. He made them regarded at the same level. In the early 80s, you got a big man, which is why Sam Bowie got drafted before him, and why in college, Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing were the ones winning every year your Naismith Player of the Year awards, because they always gave it to big men. He's the first one who wasn't a big man. You're shooting yourself in the foot with a lot of
No,
real
that's not even
bad
true.
topics.
Not at all.
You know who beat you
Because
in the NCAA championship game? Jordan.
The Olympics. They said if they had played the Olympics before the draft in 1984, that he would have been the first pick in the draft. but everyone coming out of college, you scouted centers first, and that's different now. You scout, you scout wing to inside now, but before you would scout centers to the outside. You're not doing too well with your points tonight, Saich. You feeling bad?
Let me tell you this: Larry Bird took Indiana State to.
Okay, and Larry Bird was a 6'8" forward. What are we talking about here?
He took Indiana
I don't
State.
see the correlation.
Do you remember Indiana State?
Yeah.
No. Do you know Indiana State? When was the last time you heard of Indiana State?
Every time they talk about Magic versus Bird.
Yeah, that's the only time you hear about it. You know why? Because Indiana State is irrelevant.
Where are you going with this?
I'm going with Jordan. You think Jordan could take Indiana State to a national championship?
Wow. Seriously. And I know,
say yes. Just say yes. Just say yes.
Say wow, and I just said
just
wow
say yes.
Because that was a dumbass statement.
It really is. Could Jordan take Indiana State to a national championship? No. He wasn't even the best player on his team.
Here we go. Who was the best player on the team?
James Worthy.
So James Worthy, the same person
who won
who said,
National Player of the Year?
Yeah.
Who hit the game
not James
in
Worthy.
the title game?
Who won 6 MVPs in the NBA?
Jesus Christ. With
Yeah,
you, Jordan Love is funny.
But we're not giving you opinions. We're giving you stats.
All right.
That's the difference.
So just say this to me right now. Would Jordan take Indiana State to a national champion? Yeah, he would?
I already said.
Okay.
Actually, and
I want to hear that ridiculousness.
And hold on one second.
Bill Russell took San Francisco to 2.
Hold on. First off, Larry Bird didn't win a national championship.
No, he took him to the national championship.
He lost to Magic.
Against a powerhouse.
Yeah, I still don't see what you're literally taking one of the best players ever to play basketball and replacing them with one of the best players to ever play basketball. That's like saying, can you take a fighter pilot that only flies F-15s? Can he fly a regular jet? I'm pretty sure, dude. You got the Green Beret, the best that could never do it. You can slide him in another spot; they'll be able to do it again. That's I don't understand where you're coming from here. You're taking out Larry Bird, an all-time great, nobody's argument whatsoever, and replacing him with Michael Jordan, an all-time great that nobody ever argues on being an all-time great. Of course,
I think that was a Top Gun 2 reference because Top Gun. Could you take the Iceman and put him in the plane with Maverick and Goose?
Yeah,
Goose is dead.
I'm sure Michael.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
According to you guys, he definitely could. He'd be the best goddamn fighter.
You don't even need the plane to fly.
The best fighter pilot in the world.
So I want to bring up something for real, though. Since this little Stafford and Matt Ryan argument just went on, I want to recap. Saich thinks he's like a QB guru. Last year, right before the fantasy draft, I was in a hotel room with him, no homo. And Saich goes, "Oh, Lamar Jackson, he sucks. He's going to be fucking garbage." Guy wins the MVP. Baker Mayfield, I really like him. He's got balls. He's a gunslinger.
Absolute garbage.
Baker Mayfield will have a better season than Lamar Jackson this year.
You know this is being recorded, right?
Count that. Yep.
Oh, they don't.
You do know this is being recorded.
Both of them played the full season.
Lamar Jackson will.
God.
They're all going to.
All right. Hold on one second.
Field's gonna have a better year than Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
Press pause for a second here. So,
Yes.
Saich, will you shave your head? We're talking about down to the bick.
Dude, I don't even
Down
have
to
any
skin.
hair.
All right.
He tried to just give you a shot of his ball sack.
Yo, for real,
God.
right? Stop trying to teabag the show.
Tried to get you to go.
Yeah. Let's edit this
So
and cut this part out.
we need something that is going to, because that's a pretty bold statement. You got to put some sort of wager on top of that. It's got to be something decent.
All right, so what's your wager then?
No, you're wagering this against the show here, so it's. I will give some sort of ridiculous, and yes, I am calling your prediction ridiculous. I will give some sort of ridiculous prediction.
You believe in Lamar Jackson that much?
I believe that.
You said he sucked last year.
Not even about Lamar
It's
Jackson.
not even Lamar Jackson, dude.
You
I
are playing
believe that
dangerous
Baker-
waters betting on the Browns.
I
You should
believe
never
that
be.
Baker
No,
Mayfield
I'm not
is
betting on the
garbage.
Browns. I think.
But betting on Baker is betting on the Browns because you just said teams help the quarterback.
You
just said before teams help the quarterback.
You asked
got
when the
a good
last time
offense.
Detroit had a good running back. When's the last time
You
Cleveland had a
guys-
good quarterback?
You guys throw around garbage like way too easily.
Baker
These were
Mayfield's absolute garbage.
statements.
You
made
just said
statements.
you
Lamar
said that.
Jackson sucked. He won the MVP. Baker Mayfield, I like him. He's a gunslinger. He's got balls, and he was terrible.
Yeah, that was last year.
Huge
And you want to
fucking
talk
bust.
about having weapons?
It was a rough.
But he-
No, he does. But
you want to
listen,
talk about
you
having
think
weapons?
you think Lamar Jackson's gonna have a good year next year?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, he's not going to win
Give me-
MVP, but he's going to have a
He's
decent.
not
He's
gonna
going
win
to have
MVP.
football.
I
As long as he can run the
guarantee
ball, he's going to have a decent year.
you, he'll have better numbers and he'll have more wins than Baker
No way.
Mayfield.
You
Yeah,
said
'cause
what?
he'll have
He
more
will have
wins.
more wins,
Mhm.
and he will have better numbers, more combined touchdowns in a running and passing than Baker Mayfield.
Let me tell you something about the NFL. What defenses do? That was a total surprise last year about Lamar Jackson because everybody thought all he was going to do was run, and Harbaugh was amazing in his
run.
game plan.
Yeah, and
But
you're
I'll
right.
tell you what, they're going to catch up to him because that dude is the most inaccurate quarterback that I've ever seen.
You haven't
Well,
watched the
so two
Buffalo
things.
Bills
Two
game,
things.
man.
Yeah, Josh Allen was actually statistically the most inaccurate quarterback last year, and number two, the Ravens are a better organization. So yes, the NFL will figure out Lamar. Lamar will not be MVP, but a reduced Lamar is still better than Baker next year.
Lamar Jackson throwing with his left hand is better than Baker Mayfield.
Just
He
because
is
of the fact
lefty.
that he actually can run.
Lamar
Everybody
Jackson
said that
is not
Baker was this
lefty.
athletic
Yo,
quarterback, but he can't outrun linebackers.
Saich with the swings and the misses a lot tonight. Lamar Jackson is very much right-handed.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But listen,
Michael Vick
let me
was
tell you this.
left-handed. I know all black people look
yeah,
the same, but Michael Vick was left-handed.
you had to go there.
Oh,
Nice.
God.
Michael Vick's left-handed. All right.
But anyway, I guarantee you, Lamar Jackson is going to be like he's going to be a bust next year. Watch.
He's got the Madden curse.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. But hopefully we have some football that's have him bust out in games for sure. You know, with no fans in the stands or not, at least need something to get on Sunday. Grill up some
Say,
meat.
I'll bet you a Mohawk, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield.
Oh, we will certainly figure out a bet here. In fact, we'll put it up on the Instagram. You know, go ahead and comment on there. What should Saich do when Lamar?
And
Well,
when I'm right, what are all three of you
Mohawk.
going to do?
Whoever's worse has to shave their head. Mohawk.
So all three of you will shave your head in a mohawk if I win.
I can
Yeah,
tell
I'm
you,
saying me. I'm taking your bet.
Getz is taking the bet.
I need a bet from all three of you.
This
Well,
guy.
like what kind of mohawk?
We'll figure
Go
this
to the
out and come
barber
back
and do a
to-
mohawk, or is that gonna be one of those shitty ones?
I mean,
No,
it doesn't matter. If I'm going to do it, if I win, all three of you are doing it.
I'm really not worried about what we'd have to do because there's no way your bet actually works.
Then why do you
We'll
care
figure it
then?
out.
Then
How are
do
we
it. Then just say yes.
We
How are we
we
gonna
will.
Bet? Just wins?
No, it's got to be. We'll have to
Yeah,
figure out
he wins.
the parameters on this here. It's got to be a combination of wins and stats for the two of them. And
Yeah, because Baltimore will win the wins part. Baltimore has
two
a better
things that
overall
Baker
team.
Mayfield does not do in the NFL is
Yeah, 'cause that-
put up good stats. So
Baltimore's also way better coached.
way better
coached.
coach.
Yeah, easily.
Cleveland's just cursed, man. Literally, Bernie Kosar is the last good quarterback that the Cleveland Browns had, and you were a young man when Bernie Kosar was playing back in 30-something years ago. All right, so we got 10 minutes here before we got to go. Joe gets his eyes already glazing over. He's got to go to work in the morning. The ESPN put out top fives each team. The two teams that kind of in consensus of being the two best teams of the top fives, and there are the Lakers. The Lakers would have Magic. You'd have Kobe.
Starting
Jerry
five.
West.
Explain that, Bert.
Starting five. So Magic, Jerry West, Kobe, and you'd have the Twin Towers of Kareem and Shaq against the Warriors, which had Steph. We also had Clay. They put Draymond on there for some reason. KD and Wilt Chamberlain.
What about Chris Mullen?
Well, that's
Right.
the first thing I was going to say. Draymond's got to be out of there. KD slides to the 4, and Mullen's in playing. The
Oh yeah,
3.
give me that team all day.
You
They
got
beat the Lakers 7.
You got a real competitive basketball game on there. If it's a 7-game series, who
Yeah.
wins between those two?
I think the Warriors win in 7.
No way.
Mull-
They beat
with
the
Mullen.
Lakers.
With Mullins, you're talking about putting 4 top 20 of all-time shooters with Wilt in the paint, all versatile defensive except Curry, and you presumably stick Curry on Jerry West.
But Shaq would be in the paint with Wilt,
That's the problem.
and you got Kobe and Jerry West playing on the same team, and Magic.
It's Magic's the difference.
Yeah, they have a better collection of talent, 100%. I'm talking
Yeah,
about the
Lakers
fit on the basketball
easily win.
court. But the fit on the basketball court, I like the
I don't
Warriors.
know
fit
about
better.
easily because the 3-point shot will keep the Warriors in it. But
Yeah, the 3-point shot is going to win in the game. Actually,
Magic's the difference. If they have a very they're all 6.
They didn't have 3 when Jerry West played, right?
no.
But he had that distance on it. But the NBA didn't get a 3-point shot until 1980. That's another thing there. That's another spite. Not to roll it back to Jordan here, but he would have been a better 3-point shooter if he had come up with the 3-point line in the game when he was all the way through his rookie year in the NBA.
Yeah, but you could say that about Bird. You could say that about Reggie Miller. Like all those guys were great shooters.
Bird was an excellent 3-point shooter. Just didn't shoot a lot of them. Reggie Miller.
Yeah, because that wasn't the game.
But Reggie Miller did come up in the 3-point era because he graduated from UCLA in like 1988 or 89, somewhere around there.
And you know who Reggie Miller called Black Jesus?
A lot of them. He did call Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Let me guess. The same guys. Oh, you guys are ridiculous.
I mean, I'll take Reggie Miller's opinion over yours.
But that's why, like, if you're looking at all those teams now going to the East, because I know we're talking about the East as well. That's why I know you guys disagree with me. My pick in the East is Milwaukee because of fit. I like the fit with those guys in Milwaukee.
No way, man.
You're alone on the Milwaukee one.
No way, man.
I can't call you out. But listen, we only got a couple minutes left, and I don't want to forget something here. The old man's in the building.
I dropped the Sixers starting 5 then.
The Sixers starting 5 is pretty sick. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, their starting 5 is sick.
Talking about Will Chamberlain, Moses Malone, Dr. J, Iverson, and Mo Cheeks. And you can even move Iverson to point and put Barkley in there somewhere.
That's a fat 2-guard.
I mean, Barkley could play.
Hold on, but I gotta make the argument to Saich because Saich knows the older players better. This is where I'm going with this, Saich. Let me know what you think about that.
He just called you old.
In the East,
seen Sidney Moncrief in person.
But in the East, who's Oscar Robertson's a mismatch for anybody out there. He's 6'5", walking triple-double. And you have deadly shooters with Ray Allen as well. And then you have the best version of Kareem, not the Lakers Kareem. You have the younger, in my opinion, best version of Kareem. And Giannis can defend anyone, dude. Giannis will be a problem on defense for anyone, and anyone who has a top-tier power forward, he'll just go at his feet in the open floor.
Listen, Saich is never going to go along with you on that because when he was in high school, he got dominated by Oscar Robinson his junior year in the city championship. So he'll never ever vote for Oscar Robinson. We have that tape, it's black and white, and you got to put it on one of them big projector type things. We'll play that one of these days.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Check this before we run, Saich.
5 in there.
Saich, your favorite football team trying to throw money at this terrible quarterback.
Oh, God.
And he keeps saying no. We're giving the Dwayne Haskins dumbass of the Water Week.
That's got to be
Dak
the agent.
Prescott.
That's I don't even understand it. That's
5 years, $175 million. He is not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Not anywhere close to it. He's probably maybe top 15 if we're giving it a stretch.
All right, what do you mean not anywhere close to it? Like
he's
ain't
not
great.
an elite quarterback.
And he
he's
ain't
in a
worth
third
that
tier.
money. Trust me, I know
nowhere
that.
Worth anywhere close to that money. Why does he keep saying no?
Probably the agent. It has to be. I can't believe that he's that stupid.
He's gonna end up playing for the Browns when they cut Mayfield halfway through the season.
Yeah,
true.
I actually think that may be a blessing in disguise for your team because I actually think what's better for the Cowboys is that you put Andy Dalton in there, and now the offense goes back to how they used to be when they were good, which is running the ball through Zeke because that's the guy you paid a lot of money to, and now you're playing to the strength of the offensive line, which makes the defense better. Dak slinging the ball around and putting up numbers against bad teams means 8-8, 7-9 for you guys again.
They're 8-8
Yep.
anyway.
No way. We'll be better this year.
Only if you run the ball through Zeke. And yes, if you run the ball through Zeke and the defense gets back to where they were, which they can if you hold the ball a lot like you guys used to when Dak was the game manager, then yeah.
You're losing twice to Wentz this year. You're losing twice to Danny Dimes. Haskins is going to come in and work you.
Haskins?
That's 0-6. That's 0-6 in the NFC East
I
right
don't
there.
think twice to the Giants.
Haskins, oh my God.
Haskins? Like, come on.
But you definitely will lose one of those because it's a division game. You're not going to sweep both of those.
Yeah, true.
You'll lose
Best thing for them to do is put Dalton in right now. tell Dak to fuck off, renege the offer. Don't even franchise him. Tell him to get out. Try and trade him to whoever will take him.
Yeah.
What
Then
happens
draft
if they
somebody
don't
next year.
franchise him, though?
Draft somebody in the second or third round next year who's just as good as Dak and is super cheap.
If they don't franchise
Because
him,
the
what
Cowboys
happens?
gave all kinds of money to their offensive line and Zeke and Amari Cooper, and now they can't sign anybody on defense.
They can draft that kid from North Dakota State, that quarterback, to replace him next year.
Yeah,
He
man.
looks way better.
They have to move up for that. But if they don't franchise him, what happens? He's just an unrestricted?
Supposedly they already franchised him, and he won't sign it.
Oh, he wants to sit. He's trying to pull a Kirk Cousins.
Trying to hold out because they paid Zeke, so he thinks he can hold out and get a shitload.
175 would have been the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So
I don't get that
he
at all.
turned that down over.
Wants $45 million a year. Dak
That's
Prescott.
got to be the agent, right? Like, how are you that dumb?
That's ridiculous.
Definitely, the agent gets 10%. He's like, "Hey, let's go for 40."
Yeah, let's see how can we fleece the Cowboys?
You can't hit the agent trying to get as much as he can, but Dak's got
Yeah, but like to where you're
Dak
not
got
going to get a
stepped in.
deal. Like
Yeah,
you're not
Dak
going to
got
get a
stepped in.
deal.
and you're also you cripple that team. If they pay you that much money.
Even
there's no
Jerry
win.
Jones' son, Stephen Jones, came out and said, if you pay your quarterback a shitload of money, you're going to end up neglecting the rest of your roster. And he brought up Russell Wilson in Seattle.
Yeah.
So even your owner is saying we shouldn't pay this guy a lot of money.
If I'm Russell Wilson, I'm a little taken aback at that. He's much better than Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but the fact is that ever since they paid him, they've been a mediocre team. They
Michael
haven't been a
Jordan
Super
would
Bowl
have taken that
caliber
as a
team.
grudge.
Yeah,
to
had to
destroy
get rid
Dak
of the whole
Prescott.
offensive line. They had to get rid of
Yeah.
their whole – all that Legion of Boom, all
They
those
couldn't pay
guys.
those guys.
That's why Earl Thomas was pissed at Pete Carroll, because none of those guys got money and they had to leave because Russell Wilson got paid.
How about them Cowboys?
The Rooney Rule to talk about.
We don't have any time for that now. We have to do what we do. So that's also a very heavy topic for.
We do have time to talk about Fuzzy's Taco Shop. Because you can get the carne asada, you can get the burrito, you can get the quesadilla, you can get a nice grilled shrimp soft taco. And is there any place better to put your face than in a warm, fuzzy taco?
Getz is on a mission. Have you called Fuzzy's Tacos yet so we can get some free tacos?
Yo, man, go there and eat damn tacos. Support them.
I want them to support us. Sponsors give you stuff. That's how it works.
So here's my last statement then that I think has to be said, because what I've seen in these with these top, the best starting lineups of each team, everyone's saying, "Oh, LeBron should replace Jerry West on the Lakers." No. How do you going to put a guy that hasn't even won a playoff game? Hasn't even won a playoff game.
Can't replace the logo.
For the logo, exactly. I mean, the level of broad sexuality in this country is sickening. Like, they get offended if you don't put him every single spot. Top. It's crazy.
Saich is a brown sexual.
Yeah, like Windhorse comes out and says that he's jealous of LeBron. What the hell, man?
Look at Saich smiling and blushing right now as you
He,
talk.
first of all, to me, is the greatest player that's ever played in the NBA. And if you don't say that, he's at least number 2.
Yeah, we can argue. We can talk about it too.
But here's the thing, though. Saich didn't watch LeBron back when he was on Cleveland.
Yeah, I did. I watched some finals that he played in.
When he had the frozen one game, the hot potato game, where he wouldn't take the shot and he just kept passing the ball to everybody else.
He's a facilitator.
You didn't see that game?
That's a brown sexual excuse. Oh, he didn't hit the shot. Oh, yeah, because he's a natural-born passer.
He is.
Yeah, like, that's really what he wants
loves
to
his
do.
teammates. He doesn't punch him in the eye or punch him in the mouth. He actually likes his teammates and gets them
that's
involved.
why. But winning you need to make sacrifices.
He still
to win.
wins. He wins.
What does
You
he
act
win?
like he hasn't won. He hasn't won.
He's lost more than
What
he's won.
win?
It doesn't matter.
And I still haven't heard who was the second best player in the East those first 10 years that he ran off through the
He has
East.
got
Who's the Hall of
into
Famer he played
finals.
Against
How many
who?
titles-
Who was the
Wait,
Hall of Famer in the East?
LeBron won. How many titles has LeBron won?
How many times has he lost in the first round?
You want to answer
How
the
many
question?
titles has LeBron won, for real?
How many times has LeBron lost
You
in the
don't-
first round of the
No.
playoffs?
How
That's
many
an
titles?
innocuous stat, losing in the first round.
Because Michael Jordan has.
It's an innocuous stat. Lost in the first round once.
If it wasn't for a miracle shot,
One more than.
and Kyrie Irving,
It doesn't matter. You guys act like Steve Kerr didn't hit 10 fucking three-pointers when
He
Michael
did.
Jordan was in a final.
But he didn't hit 10. He had 1.
who passed it to
He
Steve
didn't
Kerr?
hit 1.
Pass it to Steve Kerr.
So LeBron passes it too. What the fuck are you saying? It's all the same shit.
Always say
Just
Jordan-
because Michael Jordan passes it doesn't make it better than when LeBron passes it.
So then, so where's the
You guys
excuse
are
for
on
this one?
crack.
So then, let me ask you this then: they're loaded in Miami. They have a great team. I think it was a fluke that they won in 2013. The Spurs go out and prove it. And not only did they have the gentleman's sweep and won in 5 games, Game 3 was the third most lopsided victory in NBA Finals history.
Why locked him up?
Damn.
So you're telling me that a guy who's supposed to be the best player in a game where one player affects the game more than any other sport is going to be.
He never
Finals
lost
lock.
in the first
No, son,
round.
you
Michael
got
Jordan
served.
has.
You got served.
Michael Jordan
you
lost
ignored
in
my
the first
statement.
round.
But what does
I was
that
about
mean?
to run
But what
out
does that
here.
say about him in the finals?
So what does it say about somebody who loses in the first round of the playoffs?
No, that's the worst stat of all time. LeBron's not better than Jordan. Jordan, the greatest player of all time.
Jordan
That
lost
is
in the
it.
first round of the playoffs. How good
And you know,
are you?
LeBron's missed
How
the
good are you?
playoffs before. So
No, he
LeBron
hasn't.
has missed
No,
the
he hasn't.
playoffs.
LeBron, yes, he has.
Yes, he has.
He's
Look
missed the
it up.
playoffs twice in
Anyway,
his career. Look it up.
we're out of here until next week. Crackbacks, holler at you.